Hey everybody, welcome to the forlightpodcast, a weekly podcast about gaming, gaming news, and basically everything entertainment related. I'm your host Ethan, along with my co-hosts
Aidan and Layton.
So we have it's going to be a shorter stream today. We have only a couple things to get into. I did want to start. Obviously, we are missing a podcaster today. David is sick currently, and his voice is kind of like iffy, so he just decided he wasn't going to be here today, so it's going to be the three of us hosting, as you can tell from the wonkiness of my intro, you know.
Sorry, we're not used to this.
I'm used to this. He's not.
Okay, first of all, I did great. That was great. You know, it was only like 6 minutes of great, but it's all right.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Aidan and I are the only ones who have experience with intros, and Ethan does not, and he's the one introing. But that's not here nor there.
All right. So I did want to, just before we jump into any of the topics today, we have a sort of kind of new length of our podcast. It's going to be around an hour instead of an hour and a half. We were shooting for kind of just wherever the discussion goes, but it is going to be more structured if we keep it at an hour, and it's easier to listen to, as you guys have commented for us. Another thing is kind of our schedule flexibility. We are all college students, so kind of the rigorous, like, every single Saturday, every single Sunday sometimes doesn't work, as it did this weekend. But that was also tied to a problem I'm having with the second podcast, which hopefully will be fixed by the time this one airs. If this one airs before the second podcast, just know that podcast is probably not coming out.
Yeah, I will be sad.
Adobe Premiere is deciding to bend us over. And
it's
do
been
explicit things we can't say on Twitch.
It's been difficult to say the least. So I just wanted to touch on that and kind of get that out of the way. To get kind of right into our first topic, we've been pushing this topic for basically
the last two
times.
Had it on I put it on the script twice, and we have never gotten to it because we just kept on talking.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be our hot button topic for tonight. Let's start it off with side quests done right.
All right.
So, define a side quest. You're the host tonight. So
okay, so a side quest is something that is partaking from any game. It's kind of in most games, side quests.
Any game with a story generally.
Yeah. You have that main plot, the thing that the game is trying to sell you on. And so if you were to hop on the game, turn it on, and you were to just do what the game is telling you, that is going to be the main plot. And typically you'll have it like the game will try to touch you on side quests. But side quests are just things you don't have to do that will add to the story if you do them. I would say like examples are kind of like
The Witcher 3. Perfect example. It has tons of side quests in it. There's so much you can do in The Witcher. It's like that's a great example of it. Let's think. Anything else? What's another one?
Side quests. Honestly, I wish David was here so he could talk about Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disco Elysium would be a perfect topic for this, but
I know.
I feel like most games have a sense of main quest versus side quest, and a lot of games kind of fall short with side quests.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I agree
there's a formula to do side quests, and not very few games are able to encapsulate that formula perfectly.
Yeah, I would say The Witcher again, The Witcher 3 really does it right. I would say with side quests, because the side quests are. Honestly, I spent more time on side quests than I did on the main quest with that game. It's so immersive and in depth, and it's really fun to I don't know, explore all of Gwent, I guess.
Yeah.
All of it. It's really cool.
I've got two games, I think.
Well, first, why don't we describe the different flavors of side quests?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different flavors of side quests with varying degrees of of importance and fluidity into the actual gameplay. My least favorite kind of side quest is the goddamn fetch quests.
Oh yeah, no.
Those are hard to do well.
So describe a fetch quest.
So a fetch quest is a side quest that the only objective is to get an item. Say, you spawn at one end of the map and your goal is go to X location on the map, go to like Hoinky Doinky Town, and collect the gun parts or something.
Bro, I want a town named Hoinky Doinky.
Dude, I honestly, like, I think, I don't even know how to describe it, though, because, like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is literally kind of like you're going to Hoinky Doinky Town and you're fetching. Yeah. But the weird thing about it is, like, so
it doesn't feel like a chore.
That's what I've described to you guys.
Fetch quests are very hard to do because they can get very boring very quickly. Because it's one gameplay loop. You are getting the quest, getting the item, returning, and getting the quest. And a lot of the, like, difficulty with it is that generally either it's too easy, you fast travel there, you fast travel there, you defeat one enemy, get your thing, and then fast travel back, or it's too hard. They put you into like some sort of like lock where you can't fast travel. Like you have to walk halfway across the map to collect one item and then walk all the way back.
Or another one is there's too many of one item in like one quest. Like Warframe comes to mind.
Or Breath of the Wild, the Korok seeds.
Oh yeah. Well, so I think we have like a spectrum, and I want to go into honestly what you guys think is the worst and best side quest examples, but I do want to try to start because I feel like I'm going to be quick about mine. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I've talked to both these guys about, basically the entire group. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey is very weird because it's not what you... Like, when you were to describe how they do their side quests, it is the stereotypical, I'm not having fun right now because this is so boring. But how... They have every single interaction as you play as your character with another character is so entertaining. Cassandra, who is the one of the main characters, she's the girl you can play as instead of the guy. Her voice actor is just so like enveloping. I'm avidly going for the side quest because I just like listening to her voice and how she interacts with people. And so don't do that.
Hey, it's fine.
And
Spotify won't know.
I think, oh god, I think honestly, like another aspect is like the fetch quest of, I literally can think of a headline, where it's like find the axe and find the shield. I can probably pull it up after this, and it's literally just the name of the quest, and it's the stereotypical go find this. But I know that in going to find those items, I might get something super, super good. I'm also probably going to have a really cool interaction. I think that's also what side quests need to be done, is if you have a side quest that you do not get anything out of it, and it's just the interaction, that can be bad. Like, typically that's bad.
My answer for side quests done right is a little bit of a cheat, and it is the entirety of Breath of the Wild. Not fair. If you have played Breath of the Wild, you know that the only quest after the tutorial area is simply go beat Ganon.
Yeah, literally the game is a side quest.
The entire game, the entire game, massive map, tons of story, like so much hours you could sink into that game. The entire thing is technically a side quest because you could just go to the final boss and kill him outright.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try.
No, it's actually not that hard. He beat him with a mop.
Yeah, I did the YouTube video beat him with a mop thing, which it's technically wasn't beating him with just a mop. It's you also use a glitch. Yeah. You use a glitch to kind of make the mop invincible, so you can just keep hitting it. But yeah,
beat Ganon to death with a mop.
Breath of the Wild.
It's a spear. It's a spear weapon. I want it to be a greatsword, but it's a spear weapon.
Breath of the Wild is such a good answer because
the entire game is a side quest.
It is. It's like in Breath of the Wild, you have Link and stuff like that, and you're trying to beat the big boss, which is called Calamity Ganon. Calamity Ganon. And how they made that game is that literally, like, as you step out of the tutorial area, you can go beat him.
Yeah, you can leg it to Hyrule Castle and just beat him outright.
Yeah. And so, but what the game is telling you is, hey, he's going to be really difficult when you get there. You're not going to have a lot of things, and you're also not going to have the weapon that Link uses in like lore and stuff.
You're not going to have like the big cool weapon. You're going to go there, you're going to kill him with your rusty copper sword or like rusty soldier's sword and like rusty soldier's or woodcutter's axe.
Yeah.
Like
It pushes you to go and
explore
those
find all
areas
the
and also
items.
meet the 4 like champions, which that is an entire other thing, is that it's telling you this story from before.
Yeah.
And just that game just knows how to do it so
See,
well.
those side quests, that's a little bit of a cop out.
I would call that a cop-out. I disagree. I think it's a good strategy to get around side quests, but it's not really doing side quests done
See,
right,
you can
really.
also make a point. The side quest within a side quest, the Korok seeds. How many of them are there?
900 something.
One.
970. I think I remember.
It's horrendous.
How many
Um,
Korok seeds are there? Just 900.
I think it is just 900.
So, the side quest, the biggest and most tedious side quest within Breath of the Wild is discovering the Korok seeds. Koroks are these little like tree creatures that are hidden all over the map of this absolutely massive open world map, and they're about this tall and hidden in just about every location you could possibly think of. You have to turn over every stone, every puzzle. Like there is a Korok sitting at the top of a mountain, and then a Korok right next to it where you have to put a snowball down the correct path in order for it to like get into this correct hole.
Some of the Koroks as you're playing are like, it's almost by accident sometimes.
No, every time I find a Korok, it's simply because I'm like, oh, rock, okay. Oh, there's a Korok here.
So I did, moving from Breath of the Wild, do you have your answer, Layton?
I don't really have an answer for side quests done right. What I do have is another topic about side quests. Not doing side quests at all. Like, and I don't just mean like having a linear game, a linear story game where there's nothing to do. I just mean like the way Terraria does it, or the way Minecraft does it.
Yeah.
Where there is no like necessarily main quest, so there doesn't need to be. There is
There is literally no
quest.
quest hub. It's just play.
Yeah, it's just play the game.
There's a goal. There's an end goal, but the path you take to it is variable.
So variable that like it doesn't matter. Like you could consider the Wither in Minecraft a side quest, but I mean not really, right? It's just another boss to beat.
It's
You
an
could,
end goal.
if we would go down that route, it'd be like build a house is a side quest.
Yeah, no,
kind of
it's
thing.
it's like
the
trying to define.
You could say
something
that
that
the
doesn't need to be.
achievements are a side quest. Like I think I would say the
That
same thing
I would
for-
argue is a side quest.
I would say the same thing for like Katana Zero because again it's a linear story, but the side quests are really getting the achievements and doing the speed runs or doing the hard mode without slow mo, that kind of thing. Like, do you? My argument is, do you need side quests?
It depends on the game. In a game like Minecraft or Terraria, where there is no like set path goal, whatever you can do, whatever you want to get to your end goal, that does not need side quests because it has enough variability within the actual quest itself to just exist and it's on its own.
Right.
Story-based games, Witcher 3, Elden Ring, I can't think of any.
You could say the Souls games had side quests. Though.
They do. Elden Ring especially has a lot of side quests.
How so?
The entirety of Volcano Manor, you don't need to kill him.
Oh, I guess those are quests. I think what really kind of throws me for a loop sometimes is games won't have that hub of side quests.
Like the
but
side
you
quest
technically
marker, right?
literally doing anything except for what the game is showing you. Like going your own route is technically you are now entering a side something.
Yeah, like
doing something
in
other
Elden
than
Ring,
what the game
the
wants.
entirety of Volcano Manor, doing all the quests to get to Rykard and exploring. Hell, even exploring Volcano Manor as like an area, you don't even need to do.
Yeah, that's true.
It's complete side quests.
Yeah.
Like sure, you can get some really good weapons. The two best, like, it's one of the best incantations and probably the best strength faith sword, the Blasphemous Blade, you can get from Rykard and his Remembrance. But other than that, there is no real need to go after Rykard.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we should specify and say we're not talking about like specifically multiplayer games, because you could throw in Mario Kart and you could throw in Mario Party in the mix, and obviously those don't really have side quests because they're
We're taking out party-based games.
we're taking
Right.
out party-based games, so no Jackbox games because it doesn't count.
Jackbox games,
I
the
think-
side quests. Oh my god.
I think for you to have side quests, you need to have a story.
Yeah.
And so Ori and the Blind Forest is a platformer that you're doing. You're really just doing what the game wants you to do because it tells you, hey, go here, hey, go here, hey, go here. But there was a time when I was just going through playing, and I had completed the story, and it was like, yo, like, do you want to go back in? And I was like, why would I? I mean, I guess I can explore for like these other life orbs, but I don't have anything I need to beat anymore. Like, why would I need that?
Yeah.
And as I'm exploring, it's just this part of the map that's like curved out, and I was like, that's weird. Why would they have a section of the map down below that's just nothing? It's just black. And I go down the hole because I thought it was just gonna be a little circle, and it opens up to a completely new area.
Yeah.
And this area you do not need if you just want to play the game and you're done. It's out. It was specifically just to learn more story beats, to learn more things that about this mom and Ori and all that. Just that's background stuff for Ori. But this entire section of the game that was really beautiful once I finished it. I think like when you can have an aspect that a player can come upon, especially when it's a side quest, and you don't have to explain it to them, but they can realize that, oh, this is not necessarily needed. Like this isn't going to tie into the end story, but it's just going to give you a little bit more background, maybe change your opinion about a certain character.
See, the thing I hate about story-based side quests is the returned NPC model. So at
What
the
do
end,
you mean?
so you have this huge, like, say you're playing, I don't know what kind of like Yakuza comes to mind.
Yeah, because
Or like
yeah.
Persona or something.
I've
Where
never
you-
played the Persona game.
I don't know, but it's just those story-based games where you can go and talk to someone and have a whole quest line with with a person. Assassin's Creed. You go
Like it follows you? The person follows you?
or follows you or gives you quests where it has implementations for their story, like a side character.
Okay,
not-
so
So,
like Fallout
yes,
comes to
Fallout.
mind. Yeah, Fallout does that a lot.
especially. I hate it when, and I know this comes with like limitations for obviously it's a video game, but I hate it when you have this hugely emotional story where it like fleshes out this entire character, gives them background and new lore, and explains a whole lot of their personality, and then at the end of the quest, they're back on their dialogue loop.
Oh, you mean the original dialogue loop?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's
Where it's
kinda
like, what comes to mind is Master in Elden Ring, Master Hugh and Rodica. They have this huge dynamic where Master Hugh like teaches Rodica how to do spirit tuning and all of that, and by the end they're literally repeating one line and will not do anything else. All of this story and emotion has gone into one line,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And obviously that comes with limitations for, obviously it's a video game. You can't have infinite dialogue or infinite expanding dialogue, duh. But like, it just, I like
Even with
those-
just a changed voice line after, like maybe they cycle through a couple and you kind of realize, okay, they're kind of done with that thing.
a great example of this going correctly comes to mind. Skyrim.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
oh my goodness, Skyrim is such a memory for me because
Skyrim is such a fucking anomaly of a game.
Yeah.
Fucking Todd Howard. Excuse my French.
We could probably, in this topic about side quests, we could probably talk about Skyrim for
Oh yeah.
ages.
Oh yeah. No, but like Skyrim, this is to explain what I mean by Skyrim being like the perfect example. It's full of side quests if you've never played it before. Because there's a main storyline which is you like follow like the steps to it, so you don't know the end piece of like whatever you're doing, like defeat Calamity Ganon and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
But,
it's
in
never
steps.
it's never like explicitly told to you that you need to. All right, here's the big bad. You need to kill him.
Yeah, no, it never.
Like, it's
explicitly
always in a step. There's usually like Alduin. It's like, okay, here's the big
Who's
bad.
Alduin?
The dragon.
the main
The dragon.
The main
Black dragon.
storyline
In Skyrim.
dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alduin the
Yeah.
the something. I can't remember.
I don't know.
It was-
I
He
know
had
Alduin.
like a title.
I haven't played Skyrim in. I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna be fully real. I got past like the Yeti on the mountain, like
And
up
you
to the
stopped?
great
Really?
something.
Many of those.
That motherfucking Yeti was terrifying.
See, the
okay,
way-
it was
You need to-
Skyrim
so
is a lot-
terrifying.
Skyrim is a lot like Breath of the Wild versus like The Witcher 3. On the spectrum of side quests, it's closer on the Breath of the Wild side than it is on the Witcher 3 side, in my opinion, because there is no set way you have to run the story.
I would
Yeah.
disagree, honestly, because
Really?
what Skyrim does is Skyrim gives you the marker. It gives you exactly
fair.
what you need to do for a main quest.
But it
and
also lets
separates-
you. But it also lets
separates
you
main quest from side
completely
quest.
ignore that.
Well, yeah, it lets you completely ignore that. 'cause
Like
it's
me.
an open world game.
Isn't there an aspect of like if you go to a certain, because I love Skyrim, I've watched a little, like most about it. I didn't get into the growth of the game. I just saw like the dragon speaking and all that, and I played it when I was little, so obviously it was not good. But there's an aspect of like if you go to a certain kingdom before a certain kingdom, you can align with that kingdom instead.
Okay, this is
And
what I wanted
that's-
to talk about. This is
yeah.
what I want to talk about. So, in Skyrim, there's a civil war going on between the Stormcloaks and the Imperials. It's like two factions. You can, as the main character who's like of like the whole game.
You
right?
you are protagonist.
You are the protagonist. You can influence the civil war to change like
The
how
outcome.
Skyrim looks. You can change how the outcome ends.
You can either
And-
align with the Stormcloaks, who are racist, or you can align with the Imperials, who, for once in any story ever, are actually kind of the good guys.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's like
so strange.
normally
The
in games you're like, oh, I'm gonna side with the rebels because obviously the Imperials are like actually bad and like hate their citizens. No, surprisingly, the Stormcloaks are the racist ones.
No, so yeah, as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, Stormcloaks all the way. As an adult, I went through all of like, I actually listened to the dialogue like that people speak about, like the NPCs and stuff. I actually read like the books and
The lore
stuff,
books, yeah.
the lore books, and it's like, the Imperials are the good guys. What?
Yeah,
But so
the Imperials have like a really good system, and the only reason they're bad is because they're literally like getting screwed over by the Thalmor.
oh yeah, and the whole point that Ulfric is a Thalmor agent is insane.
That would be entirely possible.
No, it is. It's in the books. It's insane. I know. It's nuts. Ulfric is a Thalmor agent inserted. It's nuts. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was how the first time I played Skyrim, I sided with the Stormcloaks. I didn't do the main quest for a long time. I sided with the Stormcloaks, and I finished the whole Civil War. And like it was Skyrim was Stormcloak at that, and I went through the game, and I finished the main quest. I'm like, okay, that was fun. Let me do it again. I did it again, and this time I went through the main quest a little bit more than I had before doing any of the Civil War stuff. And there was this entire section where you take the leaders of the Stormcloak Rebellion and the leaders of the Imperials. They gather with the Greybeards and they fucking make a whole treatise and like say, hey, we need to stop until we kill Alduin. It's insane. And I missed that whole thing the first time I played because I sided with the Stormcloaks. And Skyrim did it right, I would say.
Skyrim has such a perfectly knitted together story.
Oh, yeah.
And such a variability of paths that it's like any path you take leads to a really, really good story.
Skyrim did it 100% correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That game is something else. That's why it's been released for how many years now?
God, like
Re-released?
15?
It
been out
got
for
re-released
ages.
on Switch, and I never copped it, but I think my dad has it.
Dude,
It's on Game Pass.
It's on Alexa.
Game Pass. Yes, it's on Game Pass.
You're kidding!
I'm not kidding.
Oh my god! Okay, we
they
playing.
put Skyrim on the Alexa.
Magic
you can
happy
do
juice
that.
potions. Yes.
You can play Skyrim on an Alexa. That was not.
What the
that was
hell?
real. That was 100% correct.
No, it's legitimate. It
requires
It's-
nothing.
Yeah, you can just
It is
play
a
it.
Holy crap!
Stupidly low budget,
hilarious.
low resource cost game. Like you can run on a potato.
All right,
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm
moving
going
on.
to move us
Yeah, we gotta
into
move
our
on.
second
Wait, let's finish.
topic. Actually,
Let's finish up.
you're right.
Let's conclude. My vote's on Skyrim. For
I
Skyrim.
honestly,
For-
you've
for the
convinced
side
me
quest
Skyrim.
Okay.
Skyrim does it
I can
amazingly.
disagree, Ethan.
No, I'm gonna go Skyrim because
as much as it is
I'm gonna go
memed to shit.
No, Breath of the Wild's a cop out. We already discussed
Yeah,
this.
Breath of the Wild's
As much as it is
really way to do
memed to shit, that Skyrim is like all over the place. It is a fucking amazing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honestly, we can all agree here. I will say Skyrim because I know Skyrim. I have played it just a little bit,
but just enough.
but just enough to know
Yeah.
that it was every single time I logged on, it was a new game. Moving into our next topic, this is going to be quite
This is going to be
jump.
a hard cut.
360.
Speaking of animated things,
There you go. We got it. But so
Animated things.
we wanted to talk about briefly what our favorite animes are.
all three of us are hugely into anime, so
And
we wanted to bring it to the podcast.
I did want to
at some
touch
point.
on this real quick before I can feel some of our close friends just be anime and then turning this off right now.
Louis X.
One of the things that I have learned is I was that type of person
So was
probably 3-4 years ago, and it literally was like, this is weird. This is the communities around here are weird. Blah blah blah. And that can be looked at because of just certain fandoms come out of certain shows
My
and
Hero
stuff.
Academia.
Right?
One particular comes to mind.
But there are so many examples of just shows that are like, anime is one of the most highly like I don't know what the word is, but like taken in, I guess. I don't know what the word is for that. Consumed. It's one of the highly like consumed media of all time, like period.
People
And-
love anime for some reason.
All over the world.
Which Jujutsu Kaisen Shield Hero period. I respect that decision. I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen yet. I need to watch Jujutsu
yeah.
Kaisen. I have seen Shield Hero season 1.
Kaisen.
Loved
Okay.
it. It was great.
Shield Hero, I disagree with because season 2 is mid.
I like
Sorry.
season 1 though.
I haven't
Season
seen
1
Shield
was
Hero.
excellent. Season 2 was mid.
But
But anyway,
course
like
season 2 is
I
good.
think like stuff like Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan was on top charts of the most watched show of that time, like when episodes were releasing.
yeah.
Of that time.
Oh my
People
god.
who don't
Fucking
watch anime watched Attack on Titan.
Right.
One
was
Piece
nuts.
One Piece Film Red has made like money comparable to Avatar. Original.
It didn't I'm pretty sure
Like,
Mugen
it-
Train surpassed like number 1 like soul, I don't know. Their box office record was nuts.
It beat One Piece Film Red beat out Mugen Train.
Really?
I think-
Yeah, it destroyed it.
I think
They made Avatar levels of Avatar original levels of money.
That's nuts.
No,
because
they
Avatar Original was
are
the highest grossing
they
film
are
in the
they
world.
are on the top 10 list now of like most highest grossing movies.
That's
I'm
nuts.
I'm
That's
fairly
anime.
certain.
That's anime.
Don't quote me on that. I'm fairly certain I saw that.
I think what we should probably do. I wonder if we should do top 3 for everyone. If we're gonna do top 3, we'll have to bang them out. Like, real quick.
top one. Top
Top
Well, so
one,
okay.
This is a hard
If I'm gonna go,
indecision.
okay, I have like this weird thing because I don't know if I can do top 1. I think I can do moment, and that is like on the topic of just like the people who are logging off because they don't like anime. We have a friend named Nick, and I've talked to him about him through the past 2 episodes or so, and he's stubborn as hell. And
God,
he is
he is so
the
stubborn.
I hate anime, I hate the people who watch anime, blah blah blah, like very very like stereotypical, like groups everybody together kind of thing. And we sat him down
Oh
and we forced him, like literally like tricked him into some of our gatherings that we were going to, like saying it was some other thing, and then just like forced him down and forced him to watch Demon
sat
Slayer.
him down, peeled his eyes open.
No anime.
CIA experiment.
We would literally we explained it away by doing something like, okay, let's play Magic or a board game or something like that, and let's just put it on the background. And every single once in a while, Nick would turn around, and then he'd turn around a little bit more.
not every single once in a while. Anytime he would do it, he would just go.
Yeah. And it was the first couple episodes it was the glance, and then it was exactly what Aidan just did. And
He would not stop.
we watched all the way through the first season, and then Mugen Train, which is the second arc, it's the movie as well. And it is about a character.
They
which,
have it in
actually,
episode format on Crunchyroll.
I'm gonna put
Yeah,
a
they do.
spoiler warning right here because this is something I need to talk about if we're gonna continue
Yeah, no,
this story.
this is big spoiler warning. If
Seriously.
you don't want to get spoiled for Mugen Train, when that movie that came out 2-3 years ago,
and an arc that's been out for plus that.
for ages at this point.
But here,
Cl-
yeah, I'll
mute,
just
mute
right
us
here.
now.
But so going right back into it, we sat him down for the Mugen Train, and this time it was not. We didn't have anything that we were watching, and it was all like we had all watched Mugen Train, and it was up to this point where we had sat Nick down, and it was just Nick who hasn't seen it, and so the end of that movie is Rengoku, one of the Hashira, dies, and he's like a huge character, and it's very, very sad.
My boy.
And I remember in that moment, like we watched Mugen Train in cinemas. Like
You did?
yeah, me and
You
Caleb
are
watched it in
lucky.
cinemas, and that it was like a moment that like I've never cried at something. I think I have, but like Pixar stuff. This was the first anime I'd ever consumed where I was like in tears because of how like emotional the stuff was.
Hold on. Let's roll back for a moment. What Pixar stuff have you cried at?
Homie, like literally everything. Up. You have to.
Up
It's like
was
it's a
fucking
rite of
beautiful.
passage.
Cried at Up?
Yeah, it's a rite of passage in the
Bro,
first couple minutes,
I
my
cried
homie.
at the boy in striped pajamas.
Jesus, that is
Well,
a
no
joke.
shit.
Yeah, of course.
That
But
was like one of the only movies I cried to. I just don't have a feeling, I guess.
Apparently,
Cry at-
It's like you don't cry unless you go overboard.
God.
Well, you know, like Elephant
almighty.
Man, you know?
I think I'm not like I honestly think like when it comes to movies, it doesn't get me typically. It's just like it's that feeling that it sucks, but the entire crew is turned towards Nick as we know what's about to happen. And it's the entire scene. Akaza, they're going at it. There's a glimmer of hope that Rengoku might survive. And it peels, the camera peels out, and you see that his fist is through Rengoku's stomach.
Donut.
And the look that when I turned to Nick, and he just was like that, like he cried. He legitimately did. And we have a video of him where I was just like, Nick, what you doing over there, buddy? And he's like, shut up. And like that was a moment that like it shows you that it's not just what the community is. And I think that moment in period, like that has just been a what is it? I feel like that's just kind of like a section where like I definitely was into that completely. I think Attack on Titan is like, what do you mean?
Like what section?
The Rengoku, just like the entire
yeah.
build up. Like Demon Slayer is known to be very like
Hitting.
what's it called?
Avant-garde
it's
with its animation.
No, it's over. Like I'm talking about, like just kind of how interactions sometimes, like Zenatsu, and like it's very like stereotypical anime where they're
Yeah,
screaming and there's like the different animations. They're all walking around like it's all over the place.
It's a big anime, and and it has a lot of money backing it. So when you look at like comparable to like AAA games from the anime community, you could notice some similarities like in styles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Demon Slayer does fit that niche style of like the big guys.
Right.
So-
and it's got that like extra stuff, but when
God
it hits,
damn.
it hits.
Oh my god, Ufotable is an incredible animation studio, and their style is most of the time if you look a little closely, it doesn't look the greatest. Like,
I want to put up their logo right now.
Oh my god!
Actually, that would ruin so many things because their logo. Hold on. Have you seen their logo?
I have not.
Okay, the Ufotable
Dude.
logo looks like it was made in MS Paint, and they're one of the most beautiful animation companies I have ever. One of the most incredible animation companies out there, but their logo looks like it was made in MS Paint. No, the old one. It's the old one.
This one, the frog one, right?
Yeah, the old one.
Yeah.
It has a PNG of a frog.
Look at the frog down there. I'm gonna put it up, honestly.
He's gonna put it up for the YouTube, but
Oh
God.
Oh, my
So their
lordy,
style of
really.
animation is that during like the calm moment. Yeah.
I'm putting this exact one up.
Yeah,
It's
no,
literally, like,
it is.
the animation, like what we were talking about.
Is that fucking? It's Demon Slayer.
It's the Demon Slayer Entertainment.
It's only
the
Demon
second
Slayer. Ew.
Of course it's mine.
one. But like, this is
They did,
it's
like-
the
they
stuff
did, like,
where
Fate.
their animation is crazy and then their logo is
Yeah,
just
no, the
one.
logo looks like someone like a graphic designer in MS Paint took a PNG of a frog and some different text. But Ufotable's animation style is that during the calm moments of like character interaction, the animation kind of like dips a little bit. Like if you don't like pay attention to every single fucking detail, it looks totally fine and like amazing. But if you like actually like look in, you'll
Frame by
notice
frame.
syncs a little off. They use 3D models for characters in the background. If you've ever noticed that,
I have noticed that.
So when
It's a little goof.
when characters are like walking around in the background, they use 3D models as it's easier to render than frame by frame animation in like the background of a scene. And it during the calm times it looks a little wonky and a little like a little weird, but their style is that they have fight scenes where it looks like they dumped the entire budget for the season into this one fight scene. It is so good.
Yeah.
Like like each animation studio has their thing. Madhouse, it's their crazy insane fight scenes where it's just everything is happening at once and you can't really tell what's going on, but there's explosions everywhere, people are flipping over. Studio Trigger, their whole thing is like the bullet hell. They love the bullet hell scenes where it's just fucking rain of fire, like characters bending in ways that they shouldn't, and I think it's a stylistic thing. But Ufotable, they like to stay up close to the character and they like hitting hard.
Right.
Like it looks like it should be animated in 60 FPS, and it looks like Ufotable needs to give their workers a paid vacation afterwards.
Definitely.
Many paid vacations.
I think like I honestly, so for my answer for this, I would put
For favorite anime.
For favorite anime.
no, favorite anime. There's a favorite anime moment, which I'd say Demon Slayer. I think
Which
we should
one?
do that.
Which one?
The
Moments
Mugen
versus-
Train. The Mugen Train. Oh,
Mugen Train.
shit.
There's
Now I'm thinking
three.
about Entertainment District.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Entertainment District aside, because that entire friggin' season was great. I'm
They-
gonna say the Rengoku death moment. That like entire
That
scene
was the
is
biggest.
just-
That was the
No,
hardest
that's
hitting scene.
yeah. And then favorite anime so far, I don't know if I have one. The easy answer is Attack on Titan, just because I sat through that entire thing and never got bored. But like Hunter x Hunter is something that I love. Like it's the kind of the comfort anime. It's got very like
It's easy to get into.
happy character, or not happy characters, just like comfortable characters.
That's a joke.
Where they, until like the last couple seasons, those characters never break their happy format. They're always looking on the bright side of things, which can be annoying. But how they animate
I feel like
this
Hunter x Hunter
just-
is the one anime that can do that without being annoying.
Right.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I agree, because that's the whole point of Gon. That's the point,
Yeah.
is that he's happy, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and then you get to Chimera Arc, and he gets angry. And that's
And it's
scary. That is like death-defying scary, because
Yeah.
no one ever sees him like this. And then he snaps. And
then
Another
that-
spoiler. I'll put that beforehand. But.
that's one of the... Okay, for favorite moments, that's my favorite moment. In all
When
of
Gon
anime.
release,
When
Actually,
Goku,
yeah, no.
When Goku snaps.
Goku?
Because
Goku?
excuse me,
Whoa.
Gon. When Gon snaps, it's like with all of the build up beforehand, and even ignoring the Chimera arc like length
Yeah.
and ignoring that, with everything beforehand and just everything kind of converging to him just breaking is so good.
I remember
It
like
was so good.
my friend was into Hunter x Hunter, got me into Hunter x Hunter. I watched the first 3 seasons, took a break. He was pissed. He was like, "Dude, you're so close. You're so close." And when I got to the Chimera Ant arc, which the Chimera Ant arc is about these ants that kind of are I can do background real quick. Hunter x Hunter is about these hunters that are basically above government style, that are hunting these magical, mystical beasts
Yeah.
that are around the world.
Well, I mean, a hunter could hunt anything, right?
Right.
Like
and
a
even
hunter-
people and stuff like that.
A hunter could hunt people,
Fish.
food. You can hunt for rare amulets. You're just a
You're like the
person with
top.
status.
Yeah, you're the top of the top though, and like what they describe is like hunter. If you have a hunter pass, you're getting into every governmental building basically ever. But the whole like kind of into the Chimera Ant arc is that an ant, the Chimera Ant, is now got these like it's weird. It's starting to grow. It's getting bigger, and now the hunters are kind of on this thing of like now we need to control it.
It's like the ants are like it's a really quickly evolving species.
Right.
Like they
They eat things and they gain
eat things
that.
and then they gain their
It's like
abilities.
Wreck-It Ralph. It's like Wreck-It Ralph.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Wreck-It Ralph.
But yeah, that scene was animated perfectly. Like the stylistic choice they did for the Gon snap.
And I remember sitting through that entire thing, and like it was a very lengthy, because they would do 20 minutes of one fight and then cut to a completely different thing that was going on. But I was so wrapped into the point of I knew Gon was gonna snap, because he knew it. The whole point why he snapped is one of his friends got killed by a chimera ant, and he doesn't. He's very mad. He's mad like every now and then, but like he still holds his emotions. And then once he finds out who killed him, it's like
it's like infernal rage, but no bullshit. Like it's just,
and he taps into like some type of like extra power thing, and it's like your brain is going like, what is going on right now?
I actually know the explanation of what happens to him.
He uses all of the power he would have had.
Yes, he uses
his life.
He uses the total power he would have had in his entire life, and just pulls it all at once
into one moment. It's so good.
Like he turns into an adult basically in that scene, and it's fucking crazy.
It's insane. The first time you watch it, though, you have to watch the whole Chimera
and
arc.
There are a lot of like rage moments in anime. It's a very common trope. Hunter x Hunter does it in a way that doesn't make it tropey,
because they did it once.
Yes,
and it also was over like
it was
40 episodes, but it's fine, it's cool. Again, we're not going to talk about that, but
well, I feel like that could whatever.
I know Aidan's going to go into a
completely
2-hour discussion here about his own.
No,
but I do want to give you your.
That's my favorite moment. I don't know.
Actually, you don't have. Do you have? I don't know if you could pick, my brother, because that was like when I went through. Even I was like, I'm just gonna spitball.
No, I'm so indecisive. I'm not gonna be able to pick. I can label a number of different anime that are like up there, and like
just
right
name one.
There. I can't just name one.
Just name one from the list.
No, because it's a huge list. I want to name all of them.
Oh.
Every single anime I've watched.
No, not every single anime.
All right,
I definitely watched mid ones.
What is your moment and favorite anime?
Moment. Whew. My favorite moment is a really hard one for me, because I have a lot of favorite moments.
Try to explain the moment for the show as well, just for people, because I honestly you've watched so much.
I have watched.
I probably don't even know.
I have watched more anime than probably both of them combined.
I'm not so sure.
How many anime?
I don't know.
Dude,
has it broken the triple digits?
Triple digits?
His library is scary.
Actually, maybe.
His library is scary.
Like, I've actually...
I can legitimately... You can show me a clip from any anime, and I would know which one it was.
Probably.
Yeah.
Unless
it's some, like, incredibly niche... okay, I have the neck beard. Shut the fuck up. I need to shave.
Hey, don't add to it. Why are you adding to it? Spotify didn't know.
Fucking...
Yeah. Spotify didn't know.
Now they do.
Okay. My favorite scene... That's a really hard one, because I haven't... I honestly, Demon Slayer. Probably one of my top ones that comes to mind right now. Entertainment District specifically. Oh. Because that fight scene was just incredible. Ufotable did incredible job with that, especially considering that the entire the entertainment Guitaro versus Tengen.
The final one.
Dude, there's so many fights.
Guitaro versus Tengen.
I know, but there's also like there's
what if he doesn't remember the name?
No, I know. I know what he's talking about, but I'm just on the thing of Entertainment District. There's like
Daki versus
There's Daki versus Tanjiro. There's Daki versus Nezuko. There's literally it's every single, and then there's
Daki
round 2.
Daki literally getting curb stomped by everyone in the fucking area.
Because Daki's
damn straight.
There was like it literally was like a pass around kind of thing, like phase 2, phase 3. It's like the Elden Ring, like phase 2 came up.
No, but the Gyutaro versus Tengen fight in the Entertainment District arc. Ufotable did an amazing job with that, especially considering that the entire fight in the manga was 2 panels. They got that entire 2-minute long fight out of 2 panels.
That's nuts.
Pants.
I don't even
fucking
like.
crazy.
That's insane.
If you are curious, go look up a clip. We obviously can't post the clip in the YouTube edit because we would get copyrighted to shit.
Sad. Very sad.
It is a fight that
Sorry, I just gotta log in.
everyone was really, really, really hyped for. They knew it was coming. They just didn't know how it would be interpreted because I would argue Rui versus Tanjiro was a bigger one for me. Because I remember... No. Simply because I remember not knowing anything about Demon Slayer, watching through the entire thing with my brother in the living room and seeing that scene, and my jaw dropped. Legitimately, it was the scene for me.
Actually,
Where that is
that
the
was really
only...
good.
That is the only scene that has made me, like, yell. Like a... Whoo! That is the only scene that has ever made me use that.
I don't know though, because Entertainment District was like some of Tanjiro's moves were like he fell and then he curved his leg and then just flips around and comes back. It's like, whoa! Like I think honestly, my mouth was probably open the entire time I was watching that
Yeah,
season.
no, for me, it's the Tanjiro versus Rui arc. My favorite anime. Complete 360 from anything these guys were talking about. My favorite anime
Definitely
is
Slice of Life.
actually it's yeah.
Let's go!
Yeah. No,
Discord
my favorite anime is called Toradora.
Hold on, we gotta.
Toradora, I know
No,
Toradora.
it's I fucking love
It's
it.
excellent. It's
It was
a great
it was
one.
a great fucking anime.
This
I would
one?
not
Yes.
put it in
It is my top,
number one.
mostly because I can't say my number 2, but it is
What's
the
your
top.
name?
Favorite anime, Toradora. It's a classic actually. It's came out in I believe 2013, 2010. It came out a long time ago. I'm gonna look it up right now. Did Toradora anime come
It's
out?
like saying Bakemonogatari is your
Oh shit! Actually, it came out in 2008.
not even.
Yeah, I had it up, my homie.
Bakemonogatari. That's your favorite?
No.
Good.
That's
I was
not
gonna fucking slap you.
That's not what I was saying. That's not what I was saying.
Uh,
I was saying that's like saying it's your favorite, but then I was like, I haven't even watched it, so I wouldn't know.
no, Bakemonogatari sucks.
Anyway, moving on. So your favorite is Toradora.
Favorite is Toradora. I have a story with this one. I discovered it because I had heard of it for ages. Like I'm kind of big into romance anime. I had a rough period of my life. Shut the fuck up. I've watched a lot of romance anime. I have
looking at images from Toradora right now.
what in the fuck?
I don't know. That's what I said.
I don't even know what that. Actually, no. I think I do know what that is.
Yeah. Just keep going. I'm not making fun of you.
This anime hooked me so hard that I began watching it at my friend's birthday party.
Oh, that's
on I slept over my friend's house for his birthday, and it is like birthday party. We do it every year. It's like a thing with us. I started watching that anime. It's got 25 episodes, quick, short, whatever. I started watching it at 10:30 that night. I regrettably ignored him on his birthday, playing like instead of playing games with him like I should have, like a good friend. I watched this anime for 12 straight hours, and I finished it by 10 the next day. I watched all 25 20-minute episodes, and I only slightly regret it because I don't regret watching the anime. I regret the timing of
Yeah.
because he will never forgive me for that. He will never let me live that down. Trith, if you are here, I love you, and I'm sorry.
Oh.
This anime hooked me so hard that I don't even know what it was. It's mostly because a lot of romance animes follow a pattern. It's like there's a pattern, there's steps that you know are going to eventually happen, leading up to the conclusion. This one, it had those steps. It didn't have those steps. It wrote out a complete story that was a little different than romance animes I had seen before, and I don't know what it was. It was serious. there's a tag on most animes called seinen, which basically just means that it's a little more serious topics. Not like in terms of like it gets darker or anything, but it actually takes itself seriously and it doesn't do purely comedy or purely like anime tropes. It has a serious story that it wants to tell. This one has the story of, you know, two high schoolers like actually discovering themselves and falling in love and eventually getting married by the end of the series. And it shows them like starting to like get to know each other. It starts out that they're neighbors, and the girl Taiga is like doesn't have her parents around. Her parents are like work or are busy, so she has her own apartment because she's like a daughter of a rich-ish family. So she has her own little apartment next to this really poor guy who lives in this shabby little house next to the apartment building.
I'm sorry, dear listeners. I continue to talk about the plot of Toradora for the next 5 minutes, so
Plus. 5 minutes plus.
Post-processing, we needed to edit all of that out, so we will be cutting back in a little later in the episode. Thank you.
Bye.
I watched halfway through it with ads, bought premium right then and there, and then continued. I literally bought premium so I didn't have to keep watching ads.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
my man. I do want to move from our I don't know how to say that.
Toradora.
Toradora. Yeah. Do you have yours, or are we good? Because if you just want to quickly share.
I think I'm gonna say Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Really?
That's
I
pro-
respect that decision so
that's
hard.
probably-
I
that
fucking
is,
love.
but-
We're watching it.
That's
It's so good.
It's so hard to choose between all of the ones that I know that I really, really love.
I fucking love
Like Steins Gate is one of my favorites.
Steins
Like,
Gate is incredible. Steins Gate's really good.
Like, there's so many.
Shikamori's not just a cutie. You have that in there?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god, I love you.
We're
Layton.
looking on my Crunchyroll list.
What is
right
that?
now.
What is that? Go back down. Go back down. I don't know that one.
Well, so we can
How to
keep.
realize-
We
Yeah,
can
that was
do
great.
this afterwards.
Last Winter's Revenge.
We're
I
definitely
saw
gonna-
that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's
Gonna close his
there's
eyes.
a lot-
I'm a weeb. Okay, shut.
There's a lot that I really like. Like Faraway Paladin is a new one that was one of my favorites so
Oh,
far.
dude. Magi.
Magi
Magi
was
the
really good.
Labyrinth
I have
of
it
Magic.
here.
That was a great
Yeah.
one. I recommended that to him. He didn't believe me. He watched like the first episode and said, "No, this is gonna be the worst anime I've ever seen." He watched the rest of it way through. Texted me like, "Dude."
But yeah, anyway, I would have to say probably
That happens a lot to
Stay
me.
Night Unlimited Blade Works is my favorite.
All right.
Probably number one, with my moment being Gon snapping.
And then Toradora, Demon Slayer, Entertainment.
Actually, no. Demon Slayer Rui.
Oh yeah, Rui. Yep. And then for me is going to be Demon Slayer Rengoku, and probably Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
So that is coming to the conclusion of our podcast. As you guys can probably tell, this is our shorter podcast that we talked about.
Yeah, only an hour.
But it was fun. I think we definitely had a great time with it.
Yeah.
So you can find us really anywhere. I think all of our socials are in every single place you can, like YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. But our email
Click anywhere
is,
on any of our profiles, and it'll just be like, "Here's where you find us."
Yeah. Our email is forlightpodcast, but it's spelled weird. David talks about it basically every podcast. But
That's,
that can also be found in other places.
Is it for light with an exclamation point for the I?
No,
Really?
it's for.
It's for
okay.
the number
Now we have
4.
to do it. Number 4, light as in the word, no uppercases, and then pdct@gmail.com.
PDC
Email us with
question.
suggestions for topic ideas or
Right.
questions about anything we've said.
Anything that you guys have. I know we've had it. We recorded this much later. It's 12 in the morning, or it's
It's 12 a.m.
Any suggestions that you guys have if you're watching this back? Hopefully, episode 2 will be up before this one. If it's not, I'll try to mess with that. We're having issues. It's fine, but we're having a blast with this.
Big man's getting
It's
struggling
being,
with
it's
editing.
being silly quirky.
Yeah,
So
hopefully
so quirky, so
David
goofy.
will be back next episode. I assume he will. I was just kind of today.
He just wasn't feeling well. I'm
wasn't
pretty
feeling
sure.
great.
We
I
had
got
a
him sick.
volleyball game just before this.
Yeah.
Oof, that was rough.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.